What's going on, y'all? So listen. So y'all, I just got through looking at the Bobby Kristina movie, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you ever looked at any of my videos, what it is or whatever, you would know that once it first came out saying that, you know, Bobby Kristina was gonna get a movie from TV1, I thought it was a joke because no shade, and I'm not trying to be heartless, rude, funny, or whatever. I was like, why does she need a movie? And this girl just passed away 2 years ago. Okay, so why does she need a movie? She don't need a movie. She didn't do nothing deserving of a movie, and I'm saying it on the sole basis of what did she accomplish. She wasn't here long enough to accomplish anything, and sure enough, I knew that we weren't gonna learn nothing in the process of watching this movie. Okay, so I took a chance, and it's not that I'm hating on it. It's just that um I really feel like she didn't deserve a movie because she didn't do nothing. The only thing that, we knew Bobby Christina for is because she was Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's daughter. Okay, and um she followed down the same path as her mother. All right, I would have been more satisfied if they would have, probably touched on her little background when she first was a kid and then got up to, you know I guess her death. But we really didn't need to see that because, to me, honestly, it's too soon. Okay, it's too soon. Why do you need to jump the gun and do a movie about her? Let her rest. Just like with Whitney, I would have been more okay with the fact that they would have did a documentary style, type of thing, and they had family members speaking on her, the same way that they did the best documentary that I seen about Whitney. Because I would like to see a Whitney movie, but we don't really need one because we done seen them all the time. We done seen so many, interviews and docu series on her, docu shows on her. So it's not really needed. All right. But if they would have did it somewhere in a sense like they did the New Edition movie, that's warranted because Whitney had accomplished so much. She was multifaceted. She can do this. We can talk about the music. We can talk about the movies. We can talk about the drugs. We can talk about her, young life when she was in the church. We can talk about her relationships with her mother, with Pat, with Bobby. We can talk about all those different aspects. But when we come to Bobby Christina, we can't talk about nothing but the fact that she was Whitney's daughter, and, you know, she fell into drugs just like her mom and her dad, and she passed away just like her mom did, and that's so fucked up to say, but I'm just being 100% honest. Now, the best Whitney Houston, and see, I can't even truly, I've been talking about Whitney Houston more than I've been talking about Bobby Christina, and this is her movie. See what I'm saying? She done nothing to distinguish herself away from her mother to deserve a movie like this, and I think it's total disrespect, to the Brown family, to the Houston family, for them to put this movie out and make it as if they knew. I know when they do these little movies, they be embellishing and exaggerating for, TV purposes or whatever, but just to make a movie. But I feel like it was disrespectful. Bobby Brown tried to sue and stop him, but he lost the lawsuit. He lost it, and therefore it was still airing. Okay, but it would have been so much better if, you know like I said, they had family members or people who really knew her to actually speak on her and their experiences with her, and not just document all the bad times and stuff, because that's all that we saw. This movie was depressing as shit, and I kind of felt like it was going to be that way because if you're going to do a movie about her, the only part that y'all going to do about is, leading up to her death is going to be a TV movie, so they're going to cut out a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to start at the part where, it had the most impact, where people really started paying attention to Bobby Christine, and that was around the time where, Whitney passed away. Okay, we heard about some rumblings with the drug use prior to that, but then when she passed away, that's when we start hearing some more things, and I say one of the best Whitney Houston documentaries that was done was the recent one that was done on Showtime, Whitney Cannot Be. That was so good because they had behind the scenes footage. They had different people that work with her, a few family members and friends that was on there, and people giving their perspective. She's talking in her own voice, unseen footage. And it was a really, really well put together a documentary. I keep on saying documentary which I actually like. And if they would have threw a little bit, did something like that where they can throw a little bit of Bobbi Kristina in there and have her friends or whatever talking, I would have been fine with that. Okay, and that's all that we would have needed. To me, honestly, Bobbi Kristina is no different from anybody else out here who's struggling. They don't that, you know, every so what, we gonna give everyday people a movie who's going through I don't I don't know. I'm not trying to sound so cold with it, but and I could see if the movie was good. The movie was not good. The acting was okay. It wasn't the best. It's a TV movie, so I'm not expecting anything. TV One, y'all going down the Lifetime TV road, and I'm just not here for it. Vivica A. Fox, you played Pat Houston. She probably was the only one who, you know, cause act up in this bitch, okay? And um who else was up in this motherfucker? But girl, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I just I'm disappointed because I just felt it was disrespectful. I really did. Because how can you tell us exactly what went on? And I heard that it was executive produced or whatever by people, I guess, who was around her, two women who felt that they knew her enough. Girl, no, that's why would you want to that's like an invasion of privacy. I feel like it's certain things that we don't need to know. We know enough that we shouldn't have known because it was already put out there in the media and on display by themselves, by Bobbi and Nick. We know enough. We put the pieces together. We know there was abuse. We know there was drug use. We seen that on the reality show for the Houstons, which I feel like was the worst thing Pat Houston could have ever done for Bobbi Kristina after her mom died, was put her on a reality show where it showed all her flaws, and it did not help at all. Did not help, not one bit. Okay, she was not ready to be presented to the public the way that she was being presented. And I know we trying to be reality or whatever, but that shit was all for money. Okay, and on the movie, they basically had it that Nick was money hungry after Whitney died. They going over the will and stuff, and Bobbi Kristina found out what she get at when she turned 21. She get $1 million, then she get this at 25, then she get the rest at 30. And then he was like, is there anything in there for me? And I'm sitting here like, bitch, what? Why went there? And Pat trying to tell him, girl, no, because Whitney made this will years before she even met you or knew anything about you. And, he was like, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, no, there's nothing you can do, okay, because this is a will, this is what she put in, this is a legal document that she had already had implicated years ago. She wasn't planning on leaving so early, so, she didn't think to go back and to change her shit and put your ass in it, all right? You were a friend of Bobbi Kristina, and that's just what it was. Y'all want to call yourself play brothers and sisters and shit like that because you had a close relationship, but you were not blood and you weren't there long enough to get that type of, privilege. Okay. Then later on, when they was discussing doing a reality show, if that really did go down where Pat presented them contracts to them in front of everybody, and him sitting there knowing damn well he wasn't gonna get one, that was kind of fucked up. But he should have fucking known, okay? Like, you just making yourself seem money hungry and all about the money and wanted to control Chrissy, which we already knew. That's what it was, when she started singing. Baby, let me just tell you this. I've seen some videos, and I'm not trying to be mean. I've seen, I feel bad for some of these entertainers who have kids, and their kids have to live up to the fact that their dads or their mom are this these great actors and actresses or singers and NBA stars, football players and whatever, and they have to live up to their hype, because everybody gonna be thinking that, oh, if you're going to the same field as your parents, you're gonna have to be just as good or better, okay? And that's a lot of pressure, whether you want to say it or not, directly or indirectly. That's a whole bunch of pressure. And I mean, I guess that was cool that they put that aspect in there, because I ain't really know she was trying to be a singer and take it serious like that, because baby girl, I'm going to be 100% honest. Whitney Houston as her mama or not, Bobby Brown as her daddy or not, baby girl couldn't sing. Okay, I'm just going to say that. She probably could harmonize a little, but she could not sing. Okay? Demetria McKinney up in here, baby. This movie was an advertisement and promo for her new album. That's all I'm gonna look at it as, because she tried to play Whitney. And every time I seen her on here trying to play Whitney and they're doing all her singing and shit, I swear to God, and I'm not trying to be funny, All I could think about was her playing Janine the crackhead on House of Pain. That's it. But she was trying to do some little riffs and runs. She sound cute for the most part, but some of it I was just like, girl, let it go. Let it go. We know you got a little voice. We know, let it go. Okay. But other than that, and she got an album that's out now, so y'all go check that out. I guess this is free promo for her because they played her commercial about her new album every damn commercial when it went on break, okay? But I'm just I just feel like I feel so wrong that I watched this shit because it just seems very disrespectful. Like it really do, and I just felt like she wasn't around long enough to accomplish. We didn't see what she could fully accomplish. Maybe if she would have been here, she could have had a movie later on down the road because maybe she would have gotten her life together and maybe she would have, went on ahead and did something great or in another field or whatever and put her name out there. And then we can get a movie or some, series or whatever about the steps that she took because that would have, oh my God, that would have been a bomb ass story. That would have been a bomb ass story, okay? But she's not here. Can you imagine? She's coming out of the darkness. She's doing learned behavior. She's seen her mother and her father, doing drugs or heard about it or whatever the fuck it was. And, your mom died of an overdose or whatever. And then, your friend and later on in the movie dies over an overdose, okay? But then you continuing to take drugs to numb the pain, and then this motherfucker try to keep on putting his hands on your ass, and then you just wake up one day and say, bitch, I can't do this shit no more. I gotta clean this shit up out my system if I want to take my life serious. You have a come to Jesus moment, and then all of a sudden she just really sticks holes to that, and she go ahead and get herself clean, and then she go do what she gotta do. She go try that acting, because I remember when she was on what, For Better or Worse? I remember when she was on that, and then she didn't stick to it. Tyler Perry wanted her to stick with it and she didn't want to. He tried to help her, like she could have stayed in the acting stuff, probably would have did fiddle and got her little voice a little bit better, came out with a couple of records or whatever, put her name up in the industry somehow and make it distinguished besides being Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's daughter. And then years later could have did a bomb ass movie on her about how she overcame all that bullshit. And that could have been a moral lesson and to young people especially, how sometimes we get caught up in a lot of stuff, okay? And we feel like we need other people to depend on and we can't get outside our grief and depression because we lose someone that was so close to us, all right? And we let these outside forces and sometimes inside forces influence us to the point that they're hurting us, okay? And we can't think for ourselves and we don't understand and see that this person is trying to control us, all right? But then we snap up out that fog and we get up out of there because we realize that we're worth more than that. And I really wish that she would have realized that before she passed away, because I feel like if she would have realized her worth, and if she really had people around her who was telling her that you are worth more than this and was on her constantly, plus, she would have got it to a certain point. Plus, we also have to remember that a person can't get help. You can't force a person to get help. They have to want that help, because if you force them, it's not going to stick. They're going to go right back to that same behavior that they've been going to, okay? That's their go-to, that's their comfort zone, and that's all they know at that point. They have to have it in their heart that they want to change. So, you know, it's a tragic tale, I guess, but and it's no different. I just let the baby girl rest, okay? She only been gone for a couple of years, and the family, I'm pretty sure, is still grieving. And then you want to put this movie in there that is basically a lot of inference, okay, and assumptions, all right? Because we wasn't with them 24/7 to know exactly what was going on. And I get it, it's a TV movie, but damn, okay, and Nick. We already know Nick was fucked up. I truly feel like I don't give a fuck how close you was. That motherfucker should have went back to his mama. Once Whitney passed away, he should have went back to his mama. Okay, but he was in it for the money. I don't give a shit what y'all tell anybody else. He was in it for the money. He knew what he had with Bobbi Kristina. He had control. He was grooming that girl, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, that's exactly what happened. Bitch, how the fuck you gonna go from being a play brother to a boyfriend and proposing to her with the necklace? I mean, that nigga really took the necklace off of her neck and took her mother's ring off that necklace and gave it to her and said, let's pretend we're married. Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay, y'all better turn that shit down. But anyway, and then gonna say we just gonna play like we married because so people can stay up out our business. But that just caused more controversy. So what are you talking about? You went from doing all that to wanting to be a producer to wanting to be a manager. Nigga, how are you gonna manage anything? And then get upset because Bobbi Kristina told you that Pat wanted to be the co-manager or whatever. Like, that's her fucking family. He was trying to take her away from the real family. That's what it was. And that's what they was trying to portray on here. But either way, I mean, if you want to watch it, TV wants to be playing it all fucking night. Okay, if you didn't miss it, it's on right now, and it's probably gonna be playing it for the next week or two. So you can catch it at any time, and it's a one-time watch. And I really struggled through it because it was very depressing. Like, girl, they cried throughout the whole episode. They cried throughout the whole movie, and it was so draining. It was like one big scene of the same thing. They didn't do nothing else but cry, smoke weed, do some drugs, and that was it. I mean, damn, was that really all her life was about? But anyway, well, at least the last couple of years, I guess. Um, I feel like the family had a lot to do with it because y'all could have put y'all foot down and put a. But then again, we can say that the family could have did this and could have did that, but they saw dollar signs too. And she, at one point, I guess you want to say legally was grown and was going to find a way to do whatever the fuck it is that she could to be with that boy. So, whatever. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. If you saw it. If you ain't see it, you ain't missed much. But, yeah, that was that. Peace, y'all.